السلام يا أبا الحسن ويا أمير المؤمنين. فقال يا فاطمة إني أشم عندك رائحة طيبة كأنها رائحة أخي وابن عمي رسول الله. اللهم صل على. فقلت نعم ها هو مع ولديك تحت الكساء. فأقبل علي نحو الكساء وقال السلام عليك يا رسول الله، أتأذن لي أن أكون معكم تحت الكساء؟ قال له وعليك السلام يا أخي ويا وصيتي يا وسيه خليفتي وصاحب لواهي، قد أذنت لك. فدخل علي تحت الكساء. صلوات
اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد.
ثم أتيت نحو الكساء وقلت السلام عليك يا أبتاه يا رسول الله، أتأذن لي أن أكون معكم تحت الكساء؟ قال وعليك السلام يا بنتي ويا بزعتي، قد أذنت لك. فدخلت تحت الكساء فلما اكتملنا جميعا تحت الكساء، أخذ أبي رسول الله بطرف الكساء أو ما بيده اليمنى إلى السماء وقال اللهم إن هؤلاء أهل بيتي وخاصتي وحامتي، لحمهم واللحم ودمهم دمي، يؤلمني ما يؤلمهم ويحزنني ما يحزنهم. أنا حرب لمن حاربهم وسلم لمن سالمهم وعدو لمن عاداهم ومحب لمن أحبهم. إنهم مني وأنا منهم، فاجعل صلواتك وبركاتك ورحمتك وغفرانك ورضوانك علي وعليهم، وأذهب عنهم الرجس وطهرهم تطهيرا. فقال الله عز وجل يا ملائكتي ويا سكان سماواتي، إني ما خلقت سماء مبنية ولا أرضا مدحية ولا قمرا منيرا ولا شمسا مضيئة ولا فلكا يدور ولا بحر يجري ولا فلكا يسري إلا في محبة هؤلاء الخمسة الذين هم تحت الكساء. فقال الأمين جبرائيل يا ربي ومن تحت الكساء؟ فقال عز وجل هم أهل بيت النبوة ومعدن الرسالة، هم فاطمة وأبوها وبعلها وبنوها. فقال جبرائيل يا ربي أتأذن لي أن أهبط إلى الأرض لأكون معهم سادسا؟ فقال الله نعم قد أذنت لك. فهبط الأمين جبرائيل وقال السلام عليك يا رسول الله. العلي الأعلى يقرأك السلام ويخصك بالتهيحة والإكرام ويقول لك وعزتي وجلالي إني ما خلقت سماء مبينة ولا أرضا مدحية ولا قمرا منيرا ولا شمسا مضيئة ولا فلكا يدروه ولا بحرا يجري ولا فلكا يسري إلا لأجلكم ومحبتكم، وقد أذن لي أن أدخل معكم. فهل نبيا واصطفاني بالرسالة نجيا ما ذكر خبرنا هذا في محفل من محافل أهل الأرض وفيه جمع من شيعتنا ومحبينا إلا ونزلت عليهم الرحمة وحفت بهم الملائكة واستغفرت لهم إلى أن يفرقوا. فقال علي عليه السلام إذا والله فزنا وفاز شيعتنا رب الكعبة. فقال أبي رسول الله صلى الله عليه وآله يا علي والذي بعثني بالحق نبيا واستفاني بالرسالة نجيا ما ذكر خبرنا هذا في محافل من محافل أهل الأرض وفيه جمع من شيعتنا ومحبينا وفيهم مهموم إلا وفرج الله أمه ولا مغموما إلا وكشف الله غمه ولا طالب حاجة إلا وقضي الله حاجته. فقال علي عليه السلام إذا والله فزنا وسعدنا وكذلك شيعتنا فازوا.
जा रहे हैं क्या शाम आ गया है अम्मा फिजा बता दे मुझको पत्थर क्यों आ रहे हैं। होने लगी अज़ाने कैसे सरों को ढापे बाजू बंधे हुए हैं खून रो रही हैं आँखें आँखों के खून के रास्ते खून में नहा रहे हैं क्या शाम आ गया है अम्मा फिजा बता दे मुझको पत्थर क्यों आ रहे हैं। नेज़ों पे जितने सर हैं एक सर है उनमें ऐसा आँखें हैं बंद उसकी और खाक पर है गिरता अब्बास का ये सर है तेवर बता रहे हैं क्या शाम आ गया है। अम्मा फिजा बता दे मुझको पत्थर क्यों आ रहे हैं। माओ की गोदियों से लिपटे हुए हैं बच्चे, हैं हाथ रस्सियों में माओ के ऐसे जकड़े। बच्चे जो गिर रहे हैं वो मरते जा रहे हैं, क्या शाम आ गया है। मफ़िज़ा बता दे मुझको पत्थर क्यों आ रहे हैं। इतना चले हैं पैदल कांटों पे सारे कैदी, थक जाती चलते चलते चलती अगर ज़मीं भी। पैरों के आबले भी आंसू बहा रहे हैं, क्या शाम आ गया है। मफ़िज़ा बता दे मुझको पत्थर क्यों आ रहे हैं। कैसा है ये चरागा दिल डूबे जा रहे हैं, क्या शाम आ गया है। सलावत।
मुजराई है ज़ैनब लुट आई है ज़ैनब, अम्मा शहबे सर की खबर लाई है ज़ैनब। मुजराई है ज़ैनब लुट आई है ज़ैनब, अम्मा शहबे सर की खबर लाई है ज़ैनब। अम्मा मुझे बेपर्दा किया फौज शकी ने, इतना भी न समझे कि तेरी जाई है ज़ैनब। मुजराई है ज़ैनब लुटवाई है ज़ैनब, घर भर को रुला देता था जिस भाई का रोना, अम्मा उसी माँ जाए को खोआई है ज़ैनब। मुजराई है ज़ैनब लुटवाई है ज़ैनब, जो जुल्म सुने थे न कभी कानों से अपने, अम्मा वो सितम आँखों से देखाई है ज़ैनब। मुजराई है ज़ैनब लुटवाई है ज़ैनब, अम्मा शहबे सर की खबर लाई है ज़ैनब। अम्मा मुझे प्यार मोई कहता था ज़माना, और प्यारों को रोने भी नहीं पाई है ज़ैनब। मुजराई है ज़ैनब, लुटवाई है ज़ैनब। अम्मा मैं कसम खाती हूँ शबीर की सर की, होगी न कोई जैसे कि दुख पाई है ज़ैनब, मुजराई है ज़ैनब, लुटवाई है ज़ैनब। भाइयों को भतीजे को जिगर बंद करो कर, पुरसा तुम्हें देने के लिए आई है ज़ैनब, मुजराई है ज़ैनब, लुटवाई है ज़ैनब। अम्मा शहबे सर की खबर ली है ज़ैनब, मुजराई है ज़ैनब। सलवात।
I'm not in the program, but it's آوها مسلمانان کو برادر زینب، جامعه پر از خون است بار ذاکر زینب. آو آو ویلا، آو آو ویلا، نالهی ز دل برداشت بزعه رسول الله، زان علیه زارش لرزه بر زمین افتاد. آو آو ویلا، آو آو ویلا. ای برادر زینب، شرح آل من بشنو، بنچ ظلم ها بر ما از عنوان دین آمد. لا اله الا الله، لا اله الا الله. سنگ فرقه اعدا جبهه مرا بشکست، دست و بسته اندر شام زین العابدین آمد. آو آو ویلا، آو آو ویلا. راس پرز خونت را من بنو که نیدیدم، بر لبان عطشانت چوب مشرکین آمد. بود و دختر زارا گرم شیون و زاری، ناگهان ز قبر شاه ناله حزین آمد. بار طفلکان من خوب و مادری کردی، از رقیه هم برگو در کجا دفین آمد در عزای من خواهر معصومی نواخانه است مزد شیر جان سوزش خلد عنبرین آمد لا اله الا الله لا اله الا الله بر محمد و آل بیت محمد صلوات بسم الله
دیگران سوال ہے رخصت کی گھڑی اے کربلا والو خدا فض سلام آخری ہے کربلا والو خدا سلام آخری ہے کربلا والو خدا ہم سے ہو سکا کچھ بھی ادا حق میں زبانی کا ہے یہ شرمندگی ہے کربلا والو خدا ہے یہ شرمندگی ہے کربلا والو خدا ہمارے ساتھ زہرا بھی تشریف لاتی تھی یہ عزت بھی ملی ہے کربلا والو خدا یہ عزت بھی ملی ہے کربلا والو خدا ہمارے گھر کی رونق بھی تمہارے ساتھ جاتی ہے اداسی چھا گئی ہے کربلا والو خدا اداسی چھا گئی ہے کربلا والو خدا ہمارے غم میں روتے روتے مر جاتے تو اچھا تھا یہ حسرت رہ گئی ہے کربلا والو خدا یہ حسرت رہ گئی ہے کربلا والو خدا رخصت کی گھڑی اللہم صلی علی محمد وآل محمد صلی علی محمد وآل محمد
آخ ایسے چھٹ کے آئی ہے زینب صدمے دل پر اٹھائی ہے زینب خبر شے کی بنائی ہے زینب کچھ یتیموں کو لائی ہے زینب کہتی ہے رو کے لو خبر بھائی ختم اب ہو گیا سفر میں ہوں زینب فلک ستائی ہوں تم سے ملنے یہاں میں آئی ہوں اور لٹے قافلے کو لائی ہوں بھائی کیا کیا ستم اٹھائی شام تک ننگے سر گئی زینب کیوں نہ پہلے ہی مر گئی उठ के देखो तो एक नजर भाई, टुकड़े सदमों से है जिगर भाई, हो गया है सफेद सर भाई, झुक गई है मेरी, झुक गई है मेरी कमर भाई। वादा पूरा मैं करके आई हूँ, पुश्त पर ताजिया, पुश्त पर ताजिया निखाई हूँ। सारे कुनबे को साथ लाई थी, मेहनतों से ये घर बसाई थी। मैंने दौलत ये माँ से पाई थी, हो गई दफन जो, हो गई दफन जो कमाई। अब हो क्यों कर मेरी बसर भाई, हाय किस मुँह से जाऊं, हाय किस मुँह से जाऊं मैं थी मुक़द्दर में मेरी रुसवाई। क्यों न दरबार ही में मौत आई, पेश हाकिम गई ये दुख पाई। गुस्सा आया था पी, गुस्सा आया था पी गई भाई। जो हुए जुल्म सह गई ज़ैनब, सबके रोने को रह, सबके रोने को रह गई। मुझसे बरगश्ता थी मेरी तकदीर, खूब की मेरी इज्जतो तौखीर। सर से चादर छिनी हुई तशहीर, फिरी बाजार में, फिरी बाजार में मैं हो के असीर। और भी कुछ सुनाऊं क्या भाई, अपने बाजू दिखा, अपने बाजू दिखाऊं क्या भाई। जब किया हमको दाखिले जिंदान, नाम को भी न रोशनी थी वहाँ। रो के कहती थी ये सकीना जा, यहाँ से लेकर चलो, यहाँ से लेकर चलो पुपी। मुझसे बर्दाश्त हो नहीं सकती, मैं अंधेरे में सो, मैं अंधेरे में सो नहीं सकती। मारते थे तमाचे बानी अशर, कान से उसके छीन कर गौहर। हो गया था लहू में कुर्ता तर, अब क्या, अब क्या कहूँ, अब क्या फट रहा है। शिम्र की खा के सीलियाँ भाई, मर गई नीम जान, मर गई तेरी नीम जान भाई।
नारे तकबीर, नारे तकबीर, नारे रिसालत, नारे हैदरी, बावाज़े बुलंद सलावत। या रब न लुटे कोई यूं आलम गुर्बत में, या रब न लुटे कोई दरिया के करीब आकर, प्यासा न रहे कोई यूं आलम गुर्बत में। अकबर की जवानी पे खुद रोई जवानी भी, अकबर की जवानी पे खुद रोई जवानी भी, अरमान किसी माँ के हो दिल में न रहे कोई, अरमान किसी माँ के दिल में न रहे कोई यूं आलम गुर्बत में। ये कह के गिरी ज़ैनब शबीर के लाशे पर, ये कह के गिरी ज़ैनब शबीर के लाशे पर, बेगौर कफन लाशा हो या रब न रहे कोई दरिया के करीब आकर, प्यासा न रहे कोई यूं आलम गुर्बत में। कटती हुई शहरग से आती थी सदा पे हम, यूं प्यास की गर्दन पर खंजर न चले कोई दरिया के करीब आकर, बाजार में कूफे के ज़ैनब ने दुआ मांगी, यूं पर्दानशीं यारब दर दर न फिरे कोई यूं आलम गुर्बत में, या रब न लुटे कोई दरिया के करीब आकर, प्यासा न रहे request Shabbir Kirmani to recite the Majlis. There is a request for the Surah Fatiha for Gulam Zehra Khan Niazi, daughter of Muhammad Hayat Khan. Also the announcement that, as you know, that we are doing IMA Shahadat Imam Hussain Hassan alayhi salam and Wafat of the Prophet Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam in Ayam. So tonight is a last speech of Syed Shabbir Kirmani here, and please say loud salawat for him. From the management and community, we thanks him that he gave us a time, and inshallah he will give us in the future as well. And from tomorrow, we have Monday and Tuesday. Tuesday is the 28th Safar, and tomorrow is the Shab of 28th Safar. So we have the Shahadat of Imam Hassan alayhi salams, followed by the Majlis Tabut, inshallah. And Hujjatul Islam Dr. Syed Amir Abbas from North Carolina is visiting us here. So he's reciting 2 Majalis Monday and Tuesday. So Tabut is tomorrow, inshallah. Shab and Tuesday is the 28th of Safar. So Imam Hassan alayhi salam and Prophets, Wafat of Prophets, we have the 2 Majalis here. Say loud salawat and please come forward. Allahumma salli ala salawat.
I would like to thank the organizers from the bottom of my heart and you all, respective community, for the opportunity to serve the Ahlebait alayhim salam. If you could please recite Surah Al-Mubarak al-Fatiha for Gulam Zehra, daughter of Muhammad Hayat Khan, and also the mother that is the mother of Qamar Khan Niazi. Al-Fatiha. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. If you could please recite one more Fatiha for the Shuhada. Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen. Ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Maliki yawmiddin. Iyyaka na'budu wa iyyaka nasta'in. Siratal ladzina an'amta 'alayhim ghayril maghdubi 'alayhim. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان اللعين الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. وفوضوا أمري إلى الله إن الله بصير بالعباد ولا حول ولا قوة إلا بالله العلي العظيم. حسبنا الله ونعم الوكيل ونعم المولى ونعم النصير. والصلاة والسلام والتحية والإكرام على الرسول المسدد المصطفى الأمجد المحمود الأحمد الذي سمي في السماء بأحمد وفي الأرض بأبي القاسم محمد. وعلى أهل بيت الطيبين الطاهرين المعصومين المظلومين المنتجبين الذين أذهب الله عنهم الرجس وطهرهم تطهيرا. وقل رب اشرح لي صدري ويسر لي أمري واحلل عقدة من لساني يفقه قولي. أما بعد، قال الله تبارك وتعالى في كتاب الكريم:
بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم إن الدين عند الله الإسلام صدق الله العلي العظيم زينوا مجالسكم بالصلوات على محمد وآل محمد My respected elders, brothers and sisters in Iman, Salamun alaikum jami'an wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Why do we need religion in the 21st century? Keep that question in the back of your mind, we'll return to it. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in the Quran al-Majid wa Furqan al-Hamid says, Inna ad-deena inda Allahi al-Islam. Verily, religion near Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, the deen as far as Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is concerned, is Islam. With respect to Islam, does this mean that Islam that you and I practice? Does this mean other forms of Islam? We'll explore this in a moment. But us living in the United States, living in the West, whether that be the United States or Canada or Europe, this question comes forward. That why do I need, and you're hearing this more and more, why do I need religion today? This religion was something that had a purpose for maybe a certain period of mankind's history. Maybe it had benefit 500 years ago. Maybe it had benefit 1,000 years ago. But now, today, we live in a world, in a society where the laws have evolved, where science has evolved, where society has evolved, and you are now hearing slogans of people saying, get rid of religion, we don't need any more. These are outdated, timed things. I want to give an answer to this tonight, inshallah. An answer that you can take home, you can share with other Muslims, you can take to your office and you can share with your colleagues. An answer that you can share with someone walking down the street. Because these friends of ours who are outside of these walls, not all of them adhere to Islam, for example. So if you start giving dalil and proof and evidence from the Quran or the hadith of Rasulullah or the A'immah, they'll say, hold on, 1 second. I don't believe in this. So you need something that is digestible from all factions of society, because we live in a multicultural society. As far as Islam is concerned, the first person that Islam records and the history records as being the first one using the term Muslim in Islam is Nabi Ibrahim alayhi salam, Father Abraham, as known here. And I mentioned to you last night with respect to the Abrahamic faiths, many people in the United States do not know that Islam is an Abrahamic faith. That Islam continues in the line of Father Abraham, Nabi Ibrahim, and Musa alayhi salam, and Isa alayhi salam, all the way to the Holy Prophet. It's a continuation. And I typically give the example, it's as if you have versions, different versions. You have software, 1.0, 2.0, 3.0. It's an evolution that occurs. And Islam builds upon that. Unfortunately, many people don't even realize or know this. It would be extremely beneficial if I can take a brief moment to remind you of some of the concepts that we've discussed in previous, not only lectures in the previous nights, but in fact of previous months and years that I've been in this discussion. My lectures have a tendency to build upon one another. And I've told you already in the past what is the future of other communities that came here before us. Whether it was the Jewish community, the Irish Catholic community, or any other community. History has said that the nature of the West is that it dilutes religion. There's been no community that has come to this part of the world that has lasted more than 4 generations. It's never happened before. So if we want to last more than that, we have to get our game together, as they say. We have to get our act together, as they say. And there's a lot of work ahead of us. I've already mentioned last night, and many of you will remember some of the positive aspects of society here. There are many, many positive aspects of society here. And I've mentioned numerous ones of them here. The fundamental question that I want you and I to think about today, are there side effects of prosperity? Do you know what I mean when I say side effects? I go to a doctor, I go to a physician, I have one ailment. Say I have a cough, or you want to get more serious, I'm suffering from cholesterol or something of this nature. The doctor says, I can prescribe you this medicine, but I just want you to know, this medicine has X, Y, Z side effect. You're going to take the medicine, it's going to help you in this one aspect, but there's going to be other side effects that you'll have to deal with. Keep that in mind. The question that we're asking here, is there side effects to prosperity? Is there side effects to progression? Is there side effects to modernity? Keep these questions in mind. We said if you want to develop a community, a society, we need 4 things taken care of. You need the family structure to be solid. And then number 2, you need the madrasa system to be strong, the Sunday school system, the Islamic education system to be strong. And alhamdulillah, I had the opportunity to visit the madrasa, the Sunday school here. I was very impressed, mashallah, the hard work and the effort from these teachers. It takes a lot of work to be an administrator, to be a teacher, to run these communities. And many a times this work goes unappreciated. And we must make an effort to try to support these causes as much as possible. Why? Because this is the future of our community. That is those students. And then I said number 3 is the mimbar of Rasulullah. The discussions, the lectures that take place here need to follow in that line. And then we talked about the company you keep, the friendships that you keep. As we grow as a community, and inshallah as this community thrives in the future, one discussion that I've heard time and time again, and I want to share this with you, and this is a global phenomenon. Everywhere you go, you hear that youth are not coming. Parents are concerned. Leaders of the community are concerned. Our youth aren't attending anymore. There's a community I went to, there was a brother, he said that I did everything that the youth asked for. I built basketball courts, I built swimming pools, I built gymnasiums, I built all the bells and whistles. And after I spent all this money, nobody came. You'll remember the line that I said in previous lectures. Heavy on sweat, light on tears. The Jewish community, second generation, used to say this. One aspect that we may have control over that we can work towards is make this a place that is welcoming towards younger people. Many times when we look at our belief systems, we like to think that Iman is something that is linear and it's stagnant, it's constant. But in reality, Iman and belief sometimes goes up, sometimes goes down. I'll give you a simple example. Many of us, when we go for ziyarah of Abu Abdullah, how do we feel? When we go to Karbala, our Iman feels at a height when you're in Najaf, when you're in Karbala, when you're in Mashhad, when you're in those vicinities. And then when you come back, that lasts for maybe a week or 2 or a month even, but then it begins to go down. So it's not always constant and it's not always going up. The same way, many of our youth in this part of the world are living dual lives. There's one life inside the Imam Bargah, one lifestyle inside of the Husainiya, and one life outside of it. And many a time this leads to a confusion. If you ever see a youth who you're seeing, for example, they may be struggling with their Iman, be most welcoming to that individual. Because there may be a time when that person comes back to their Iman and they want to come back to the community. The Husainiya, the Imam Bargah. But those things, those difficulties that they went through before, that sometimes becomes a barrier to them coming back. For example, the judgment, the gossiping, people talking about them. Why was Islam so against ghibah, for example? We must keep the honor and integrity of a mu'min at all times. It is a mandate from Islam that I must be very careful about these things. I'm giving certain concepts to understand how we can build the future of our community down the road. These are very important discussions that must be had. At the same time, we must have support for them because our society is going through a very difficult time. Social media has changed our world. Some aspects of social media are wonderful. What are some good aspects of social media? For example, raising social awareness and justice. Before, if there was an oppressive regime or there was a place that wanted to have one narrative, they control one media outlet, you couldn't get your voice out. The Arab Spring was ignited by social media, they say, because you were able to get your voice heard that you could never do before. There are positive aspects as well. But are there negative aspects? Indeed there are. People who use Instagram, on average, 67% of people who use the platform Instagram report that after using Instagram, they feel more depressed. They feel higher rates of depression and anxiety. Why? Because it's showing you that life on the other side is much better than my life. Nobody's taking a picture, a selfie of themselves, and they want people to dislike it. Nobody's taking a picture of themselves or a selfie of themselves, and they're saying, I hope people make fun of me. I hope people say that I don't look good today. Everyone wants to show their best face forward. This is what's called vanity metrics. You know, vanity mirror, a mirror that you put your face in front of and you admire yourself. This is the world that we're living in. And many of our youth are living in this world. In that environment, we need to embrace them and help and support them as much as possible. You know what breaks my heart? As I go to a community all over, and I want one thing to be the reality, and sometimes something else turns to be the reality. I have spoken, and I know those youth who tell me, Syed, you know, I want to do hijab, whether it's, for example, if it's a sister, or it's a brother who wants to become more religious, and unfortunately the family or the friends stop that person from that journey. How tragic is that, and how unfortunate is that? We must be supporting each other in this cause. It's very difficult to be a young Muslim in America. It's not easy. It's not physical torment that people go through, it's psychological. It's of the mind. And we must be very mindful of what's happening around us at all times. Therefore, I want to answer the question that many youth have and many elders have, and in fact, everyone in society, if they don't have the question themselves, they're faced with this question at some point in their life, either within themselves or by somebody else. And that question is, why do I need religion in the 21st century? Islam, Christianity, Judaism, Hinduism, X, Y, and Z, Sikhism, whatever religion you fill in the blank, why do I need it? And I want to share with you research that I've spent some time looking at, and I feel that I'm ready to share with you. By the way, this is something that I actually include in my Ashra in the first 10 days of Muharram, but for the next few years I won't be here, I know that for a fact. So I want to share this. There's a lot of context that goes before and after. I'm giving you a very condensed version, but a very powerful version. Inshallah, please stay with me. Sallallahu ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad. Do we understand how much of an impact economics has on our lives? How much of an impact iqtisad has on our lives? Economic systems can change our lives without us even knowing it. There was a scholar by the name of Sayyid Muhammad Baqir al-Sadr who lived in Iraq, who was martyred by the Ba'athist Party. He wrote several books. Two very famous books amongst those are Falsafatuna, our philosophy, and the second being Iqtisaduna, our economics, in which he compares the Islamic system, and he does a comparison and a contrast between capitalism, Marxism, and the Islamic economic system. And he talks about resources in a capitalistic environment, as well as resources in a communist society, for example, or a socialist society, for example. And what does Islam say about it? Islam, and then he argues that Islam, with respect to its economic system, it has components of both. It has components of capitalism as well as components of socialism. However, he spends a lot of time saying that Islam did not copy any of those other ideas. It came much before it. I want to share with you what was the concept of capitalism. When a man by the name of Adam Smith wrote The Wealth of Nations, which is the foremost book with respect to capitalism, roughly 400 years ago, 350 years ago, he had a very good intent or niyat with respect to capitalism. Please bear with me, this is extremely important. When he was talking about capitalism, he said society needs capitalism. Why does society need capitalism? Because he said the middle class and the lower class of society, they create luxury goods. For example, they create luxury furniture. For example, they create luxury devices or things that go in the house. And these luxury products are bought by the wealthy class, by the rich people in society. So his intention was good. To balance out society, we create these products and the wealthy in class and buy them and purchase them. So for example, you go to the mall here. I'm sure you have very nice malls here in Dallas, mashallah. And you go around, and then you see all these different brand name stores. You see Gucci and Louis Vuitton and Prada. MashaAllah, you'll probably see a Tesla dealership somewhere in there. You'll see all of these things. And then you'll see people who are buying these things. The intent of Adam Smith in The Wealth of Nations was very good. His intent was, his niyyah was, that the middle class, lower class create products, the wealthy buy them. What happened in society today? In society today, the tables are turned. Luxury products, many a times the middle class are buying them from the wealthy class. The wealthiest people in society are producing these luxury goods, which people in the middle class, lower class buy on loans and pay off those loans on credit cards. So the theory was one thing, the practice was totally different. The world changed. Keep this point in mind. There's a book, if you're interested, that talks about, and another time I'll extrapolate on it, how America was built. Max Weber, one of the founders of sociology, wrote a book called The Protestant Ethic and the Spirit of Capitalism. And he talked about how America became America because of the Protestant faith, in particular Calvinism. Economics has a tremendous impact on our lives, but I want to talk tonight about a man named Emil Durkheim. Emil Durkheim is one of the founders of sociology. You know, there's different sciences. You know, psychology that deals with the mind, for example. You have the physical sciences, physics, chemistry, biology. Then you have social sciences. Within social sciences, you have, for example, psychology, sometimes they consider that one. Economics is considered one, although psychology is on the border of both. Economics, social science, political science, social science. Sociology is the study of societies, of communities. I mentioned to you many of this research last night as well. Durkheim lived in France roughly 120, 130 years ago. He was a PhD researcher, and he was educated and he was positioned at the Sorbonne in France, one of the most prestigious institutions. He wrote a book in 1897 where he captured his research. And pay very close attention, because this research was true more 120 years ago, and it may be true now more than ever. Durkheim lived in France. He was looking at the state of France, where he lived, the United Kingdom, England, across the way, and he was looking at Denmark, as well as Italy, 4 countries. They were going through the Industrial Revolution. You know what the Industrial Revolution is? The modernization that was occurring in Europe at the turn of the century. He wanted to see what is the impact of industrialization, modernization on society. Pay very close attention here. This is the crux. So he looked at Italy, which was the most agricultural society, agrarian society. Then he looked at France, then he looked at the United Kingdom. The most industrial country at that time was Denmark. Denmark was the most developed country at that time of those countries. And he looked at, as they were turning, so for example, Italy, most agricultural. France, more agricultural, but still getting developed. So the jobs were turning from farming jobs, they were turning into jobs of skilled labor, working in factories, working in industries. And then still more in the United Kingdom, all the way up to Denmark. He made a very interesting observation that I want to share with you. And that observation is that as he noticed, he looked at the industrial rate of Italy, of France, the United Kingdom, and of Denmark. He said, as the industrialization increased, the suicide rate went up. The suicide rate went up. By the way, suicide is the tip of the iceberg problem. Have you ever seen an iceberg? An iceberg is a large mass of ice in the water. You see one tip of the iceberg, 90% of the mass is below the water. You don't see it. What that means is he was saying that industrialization and modernization is doing something horrible with our brains. It's making us extremely unhappy. We live in the wealthiest era in history, but we're not in the happiest era in history. Psychology, study after study is showing we are sadder, We have more stress, we have more anxiety, we have more worry today than we've ever had in history. So what's going on? I thought wealth was the solution to the problem. Make more money, be happier. I don't say anything without research, by the way. I'm sharing this with you. I don't do conjecture. I don't do tafsir bil ra'i, by the way. It doesn't work. Everything is backed up with solid research. I'll share everything with you. So Durkheim was researching this. He said, what's the reason? What's going on? And that's what I want to share with you. If you go today, a country, for example, South Korea, extremely developed. We have, out of South Korea, some of the biggest technology companies in the world today. You have, for example, car companies, Hyundai, Kia. You have technology juggernauts like Samsung, for example. Huge companies. Go and check South Korea's suicide rate. Go check how high that rate is. I'm talking about side effects here. Modernity, industrialization on one side, very good aspects. But there are side effects we need to be mindful of. Durkheim said there are 5 reasons, according to him, why people's mental health was deteriorating and going down due to industrialization and modernization. Number 1, he said the number 1 reason, the first reason as to why people are becoming more sad as prosperity increases, he says individualism. He said society was switching from a community-based society to an individual-based society. From community or communal to individualistic. What does it mean? He said in the past, what would happen is maybe you were born into a particular family and your family were businessmen. Maybe they had a bakery, for example. It was a family business that was going one after the other in the family, generation after generation. So my father was a baker, or for example, maybe a perfumer. They sold fragrances or itar or something like this. Father did the same business. I'm doing the same business. My kids will do the same business. Today in society, they say individual. No, you are not tied to what your parents or your grandparents or anyone did. You need to pick for yourself what your career will be. And so sometimes that career is imposed on someone. Maybe the father or mother or someone says, you have to be a doctor, you have to be a lawyer, you have to be an engineer. But they never ask the child what they want to be. And the child is saying, hold on, I don't like this. This is not what I feel good with. And so that person spends sometimes 10 years, sometimes 20 years, sometimes 30 years of their life trying to find their calling, their meaning, what they're meant to do in their lives, what they're supposed to do. Individualism also looked at, in community-based societies, you looked at what is best for the community. In an individual society, you look at what's best for the individual. So if I have a family, for example, I move to the other side of the country or this other side of the world, I'm most important. The individual is most important. He said this was the number 1 reason, first reason. What other things were causing these problems in people's heads? Number 1, individualism. Number 2, he said very interestingly, excessive hope. So you see, and by the way, book is written over 100 years ago, 120 years ago. He said at that time, you see somebody who, for example, has gained something in their life. He said, for example, if they gain something, this is part of individualism as well as excessive hope. You see somebody who's worked hard, they've built a business, they've made money, they've built houses, they've built empires, they have cars, houses, they have all this property, they've done very well. If you succeed as an individual, society in an individualistic culture gives you all the credit. But if you don't make it, you're in a much crueler place. Society points the finger at you and says, you're the problem. You didn't work hard. You didn't do your job. You didn't do those things. The underlying assumption in this argument is that everyone starts from the same place in life. And that's fundamentally not true. Somebody may come forward and say, I had a very difficult life. How difficult was your life? I had a $1 million loan from my father. That's how difficult my life was. And people have said this on national television. You hear this all the time. So this type of delusion exists. Somebody who's dealing with extreme difficulty in their life, and they have challenges and barriers to overcome, that person cannot be measured according to the person who has generational wealth, for example. Their grandparents were multi-millionaires, and they passed that wealth down. A beautiful quote that I read the other day was, we should be measured in our lives not by what we've achieved, but rather by what we have had to overcome to achieve. Those things in life, those barriers that we've overcome. So number one was individualism. Number two, excessive hope. That I can, if I work hard, I can achieve anything in life. Whereas in reality, there is some truth to this. But the flip side is what people don't look at. The flip side of this idea of excessive hope is that if you don't get there, you become extremely depressed. Everyone else's life looks very good. Everything else looks very nice. Number two. He said number three, freedom. Problem, big problem, he said. He said, why? He said freedom, especially too much freedom of choice, is driving people insane. By the way, there's a very interesting book if you're interested to read it. It's called The Paradox of Choice by Barry Schwartz, Professor Barry Schwartz. And he does an intense study on this aspect. If you go to the supermarket, if you go to the grocery store, if you go to Target or Walmart or wherever you go, or Aldi, you go down the aisle, and if you go down the aisle and you begin to choose, for example, you're choosing cereal or you're choosing candy or whatever you may be choosing, do you think that after making a choice amongst 4 items or 20 items, after you make your selection, which one will you be happier after? The researchers found that when they told people to go into an aisle and pick amongst 4 products, there's only 4 products in the aisle, when they took that one item, the researchers asked them, how do you feel about your decision after choosing this? They said, I'm very happy with my decision. Then they took a second group, group B, to go into the aisle, and they said, pick amongst these 20 different products. And so they would start thinking, should I take this? Should I get this? Should I get that? Should I get... And they spent their whole time thinking. You know, sometimes there's a saying, if you're in your head, you're dead. You're constantly thinking, you can drive yourself insane in these thoughts. So after a long time, they picked one product. The researchers asked them, are you satisfied with your decision? They said, no. I think I should have picked something else. Regret emerged in the mind every single time. 4 options, I'm very happy with my choice. 20 options, I think I made the wrong choice. That's the impact that it has on mind. He said excessive freedom, it's an illusion of happiness. It's not really happiness. It's driving you to be sadder. The last 2 I want you to pay particular interest to, based especially on the research that I presented the previous night. He said number 4 in terms of what is driving people to these elevated issues of mental health, he said the weakening of the family structure. Family structure is getting weaker. Remember, I already gave the example. You make, in an individualistic society, you make the best decision for yourself as an individual. Doesn't matter what my parents think, doesn't matter what my community thinks, doesn't matter what anyone thinks. I do it for myself only. What ends up happening is people migrate all over the world, they leave their family. And when they leave their family, they feel lonelier at times. They feel alone at times. They feel like they're on their own journey. I told you last night about the state or the city of Roseto, Pennsylvania, you'll remember. Roseto, Pennsylvania had 50% lower cardiovascular disease than any city in the United States in the 50s and 60s. Why? Because they had a very strong sense of family and identity of community. 3 generations living under one roof, for example. Grandparents, parents, children, one roof. They always cooked together. They had dinner together every single day. In our hustle and bustle lives today, we hardly have time to spend together with each other. This has a tremendous impact on our physical well-being and our mental well-being. Durkheim identified this 120 years ago. The weakening of the family structure, he said, was eroding society. And number 5, and perhaps most interestingly, Durkheim said the 5th reason why people are suffering now more than ever was because of lack of religion. Although interestingly, Durkheim himself didn't believe in religion. He was agnostic, at least if not atheist. He said, however, we need religion now more than ever in history. Because why? He said religion gives people a sense of identity. It gives people a sense of community. It gives people a sense of belonging that now we need it more than ever. And now religion is getting weaker than ever before. When someone asks you, why do you need religion? Keep these points in mind. Further than this, we're getting towards the end of Ayyam-e Azaa. Keep these points in mind. Numerous studies from FSU, from Harvard University, study after study has shown that people who on average attend one religious gathering or more per week, whether that's church or mosque or synagogue, on average they are happier, healthier, and wealthier than people who don't. It's extremely important to develop a strong relationship with the Imam Bargah, with the masjid, with the Husayniyah. Keep attending in regular. But I need to ask myself, am I making this the most comfortable place for everyone else as well? God forbid I'm the reason that someone else is not coming, for example. And vice versa. These masjids, these Husayniyahs, they give us meaning, they give us purpose, and they help give spiritual nourishment to the heart and the soul and the mind. This is what Rasulullah, when he established the concept of a masjid in Medina, for example, it wasn't, why was this concept of prayer, for example, in the masjid, 3 times a day, for example, 5 different prayers, why? Was it just come to the masjid and pray? No, Rasulullah said after you finish your salah, make sure you shake hands with others as well. And ask them what's going on in your life. Is everything good? Do you have issues? Do you have problems? Can I help you with something? You know, sometimes it's not even financial, it's many other aspects. Someone loses someone in their life. They lose a loved one. Ask them, are you okay? Can I help you? I'm very sorry for your loss. Is there anything that I can help you with? This sense of community is extremely important moving forward. Understand that religion, without religion, in the absence of religion, this society begins to deteriorate. It begins to fall apart. And you'll notice if you want goodness in your life, if you want happiness in your life, if you want peace of mind and tranquility in your life, work towards this cause. This is why I mentioned what I mentioned on the first majlis on the Friday night. You and I are focusing and working on a particular cause. Our cause is not money. Our cause is not property. Our cause is none of that. Because I tell you, you will spend 20, 30, 40 years of your life just trying to consume and create an empire. And at the end of that road, you won't be happy. Your cause and my cause is a much greater cause. And that cause is to work for the cause of Imam al-Hujjah, Sahib al-Asri wa zaman. Sallu ala Muhammad wa ala. This is why I mentioned that we're working for that cause. I want our next generation to be very educated. As the Maraji have said, Syed Sistani and the other ulama, become specialists, work very hard, make a name for yourselves, for an academia, for example. Give back to the community, give back to the society. But at the same time, understand we're working for the Imam of our time. And what that means is, what that creates a culture within your heart and mind, that if I didn't make it by society's standards, I still worked for my Imam. And that's the real essence. That one should not think that I just accumulate, but rather how can I create value and help others along the way? How can I help others? You know, by the way, Islam is highly encouraged. We talked about economics. Islam is highly encouraged one to do tijara or business, for example. Trading, iqtisad, very, very highly encouraged. But one thing that we must keep in mind, as you grow wealthier, and the next generations will be wealthier, all the trajectories are showing this, as the wealth accumulates, follow in the tradition of the Ahlebait alayhimus salam. As your standard of living increases, as your wealth increases, do not increase your standard of living, increase your standard of giving. Begin to give more. And I'll give you a perfect example of this. Sallallahu ala Muhammad wa ala Muhammad. A man from Banu Umayyah and Banu Hashim were having an argument, a debate, a discussion. Who is more generous? Who has more sakhawat, for example? Is Banu Hashim or Banu Umayyah more generous? You know, Banu Umayyah had this pride that we are more generous. We're the most generous people. And Banu Hashim, of course, the tribe of Rasulullah. So they said, okay, let's do this. Let's settle it once and for all. You go to your tribe, I'll go to my tribe. And we'll ask them to show their generosity. They said, very well. The man from Banu Umayyah, he goes to a member of Banu Umayyah. He says, that I'm in need, can you help me? Can you give me something? He says, you're in need? Very well. He says, 10,000 dirhams for you. He gives 10,000 dirhams. He goes to the next person. He says, I'm in need, can you help me? You're from the tribe, Umayyah, the Banu Umayyah tribe. I'm also from the same tribe, help me, assist me. Gives him 10,000 dirham. Next one, 10,000 dirham. He goes to 10 different people and he gets 10,000 dirhams each. Total, 100,000 dirham. The man from Banu Hashim was astute and smart. He knew exactly where to go. Banu Hashim guy goes straight to Imam Hassan al-Mujtaba. Salawatullah wa salamu alayhi. He said, Yabna Rasulullah, I'm in need. Can you help me? He says straight away, 150,000 dirham the Imam gives him. He says, wow, sizable amount. He went to the second. Who does he go? Smart man. He goes straight to Imam Hussein alayhi salam. Imam Hussein alayhi salam here gives a lesson for you and I. Of course the Imam knows. The Imam says, did you ask someone before me? Did you ask someone before me for some help? He said, yes, Yabna Rasulullah. Bala Yabna Rasulullah. I asked before you. He said, who? He said, your elder brother, Hassan al-Mujtaba. He said, very well. Then you know I cannot give you more than him. Look at the respect of the Imam. He's teaching us a lesson. Elder brothers respect, Imam of the times respect. The Imam alayhi salam gave him 150,000 exactly. 300,000. It was a ridiculous amount of money. You couldn't imagine. They come back, the Umayyad man comes back, Imam Hassan, the man from Banu Hashim comes back after he sees Imam Hasnain. He comes back. The Banu Umayyah man is very proud. He says, do you know how much I collected? He said, how much did you collect? He said, I collected 100,000 dirham from 10 people, just 10 people. He said, how much did you collect? He said, are you sure you want me to tell you? He said, yes. I collected 300,000 from 2 people. He threw the money on the ground. He took it back to Banu Umayyah, the Umayyad. He threw it back to them. He said, I did not need the money. I was just testing your generosity. He gave him back 10,000, 10,000, 10,000. The other man from Banu Hashim, he said, Ya Yabna Rasulullah. He went to Imam Hassan, he went to Imam Hussein alayhi salam. They were both there. He said, Yabna Rasulullah, I didn't need the money. We were just testing the generosity of Banu Hashim and how it compared to Banu Umayyah. Look at the difference of Imam Hassan and Imam Hussein alayhi salam. He said, I want to give you back the money, Ya Yabna Rasulullah. He said, we never take back that which we give. The generosity of Ali Muhammad. He said, Yabna Rasul, I didn't need it. This is too much money. We just were testing. The needlessness of Ali Muhammad. They said, we have this idea in our mind that Ali Muhammad were poor by worldly standards. No, they were needless by worldly standards. At times they had the most wealth, at times they didn't have worldly, but they never needed it. Imam Hassan and Imam Hussein say, whether you keep this money for yourself or you leave it lying in the street, it doesn't make any difference to us. Allahu Akbar. 300,000 dirham, that's like 30 million, 300 million. It's a substantial amount. They said, you keep it yourself, doesn't matter to us. You put it in the street for other people to take, we don't really care. This is the level that the Ahlebait alayhimus salam had of generosity and to help the people and to give to the people. We sometimes, we accumulate. We don't have trust in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Maybe when I hit 60, 70, 80, then I'll start writing checks. And sometimes meager checks. Oh, I need to send me a proposal. I'll check things out. Okay, proposal's fine. You should have structure. Very good, no problem. I don't have a problem with that. But that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala who gave you that much, He has the ability to give you much more. Much more. And that comes from trust and tawakkul in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. The Ahlebait alayhimus salam were the first and foremost to teach us about this and to implement this in our lives. I had much to say, I'm leaving it. Tonight we are commemorating the Esaal Swaab Majalis of a mother. And tonight I'm going to talk about a mother. Zainab Uliya Maqam. Sayyida Zainab. Sayyida Zainab had a lot of love for her brother Imam Hussein alayhi salam. she couldn't bear detachment from Imam al-Hussein alayhi salam. From a young age, the love between a brother and a sister is very strong. But this sister, Sayyida Zainab, she became, as she grew, she got married. She got married to Abdullah ibn Ja'far al-Tayyar, the son of Ja'far al-Tayyar, who we mentioned some nights ago. And she became a mother, and a great mother. They say on the day of Ashura, Sayyida Zainab had two sons, Aun and Muhammad. And she would look at her sons, Aun and Muhammad, and she would look at them in a strict way. It's a mother's heart. But she was saying something else to them. She was saying, Aun and Muhammad, people are giving their lives for your uncle, Aba Abdullah. Why are you still here? They said, our mother, we keep asking our uncle Aba Abdullah. He doesn't give us the permission. He says, you are the memory. You are our memory. He says that your father is in Medina. I can't give you permission. Sayyida Zainab took the two children and she said, my brother Abdullah ibn Ja'far al-Tayyar has sent these two children to be sacrificed for you. Allahu Akbar. Allahu Akbar. Imam doesn't give permission. Sayyida Zainab insists and insists. Bibi Zainab insists. Up until the point that she finally gets the permission from Abu Abdullah. These two young boys, they get on their horses and they proceed towards the battlefield. When they go towards the battlefield, they fight so courageously, the enemy is shaken. They are killing one enemy after the other. They are destroying the other side. Umar ibn Sa'ad said, who are these two boys? They said they are the sons of Abdullah ibn Ja'far al-Tayyar. They are the grandsons of Ja'far al-Tayyar. Ja'far al-Tayyar, who was known as one of the greatest warriors of Arabia. They said, you will not be able to defeat them one-on-one. He said, surround them, gather around them, ambush them, attack them from every side. They began to circle the two brothers and they began to attack them from every side. They struck one brother, he fell towards the ground. They struck the other one, he fell towards the ground. Imam al-Hussein alayhi salam ran towards the maqtal. When Imam al-Hussein alayhi salam got to the maqtal, he came to one brother, he came to Muhammad. Muhammad said, my uncle Aba Abdullah, when I fell, I heard my brother fall. Can you go look after him? Imam al-Hussein alayhi salam, he goes to Aun, he goes to the other brother, he takes his head in his lap. Aun says, my uncle Aba Abdullah, when I fell I heard my brother fall. Can you go look after him? Imam al-Hussein says, I just came from him. He told me to come to you. Ajrukum ala Allah. Then he said a line that breaks the heart. He said, Uncle Aba Abdullah, please do me one last favor. He said, what is it? Just tell my mother that we didn't drink from the Furat. My uncle, tell my mother that we didn't drink from the Furat. Ajrukum ala Allah, ajrukum ala Allah. Imam al-Hussein alayhi salam, he took the two bodies into the khayma, into the tent. He took the two bodies shukr to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Imam al-Hussein alayhi salam saw this. When Imam al-Hussein alayhi salam saw this, historians wrote, Imam al-Hussein alayhi salam jumped on the bodies of Aun and Muhammad and he began to cry like a mother cries for her children. Ajrukum ala Allah, ajrukum ala Allah. They say that the day of Ashura passed. This qafila went from Kufa to Sham. This qafila lived in the zindan of Sham, in the dungeons of Sham. They say they were released. They were given rihai. They were allowed to leave. When they are allowed to leave, Sayyida Zainab said, I want you to have a majlis first. Tell Yazid to give us a room and tell Yazid to give our looted property back to us. They had a majlis for the shuhada of Karbala. One after the other, the property came back. The heads of the shuhada came back to the mothers. The head of Qasim came to Farwa. She took the head of Qasim. Layla took the head of Ali Akbar. The head of Imam al-Hussein alayhi salam came to Sayyida Zainab. Rabab took the head of Ali Asghar. Two heads were left in the corner. A lady said, "It looks like the mother of these two is not alive." Sayyida Zainab's heart broke. She said, "Don't say that. These are my son's own in Muhammad. But who is there to cry for the son of Fatima?" Ajrukum ala Allah. Ajrukum ala Allah. Sayyida Zainab, she didn't cry for Aun in Muhammad from Karbala to Kufa to Sham. When they went on the way, they went back towards Medina. When they went back towards Medina, they stopped on the way to Karbala. Sayyida Zainab didn't cry for Aun in Muhammad. When they got towards closer to Medina, they said to stop the qafilah, do not enter. At that moment, Imam Sajjad called Bishr or Bashir, who was leading the qafilah. He said, "I heard that you used to recite poetry, or your father used to recite poetry. Do you also recite poetry?" He said, "Bala ya ibna Rasulillah, I also recite poetry." He said, "Then tell the people of Medina that we have arrived. But tell them in a way that they know that we are not joyous. We have been devastated." He goes and Bashir asks and he calls out. He says, "Ya ahla Yathrib, la maqama lahum biha." Oh, the people of Yathrib, this city, Medina, is not a place to live in anymore. Why? قَدْ قُتِلَ الْحُسَيْنُ بِكَرْبَلَا. Ala ضُبِحَ الْحُسَيْنُ بِكَرْبَلَا. They've killed Hussein in Karbala. They have slaughtered and butchered Hussein in Karbala. They say Sayyida Zainab also recited some poetry. What did Sayyida Zainab said? She said, "Madinatu jaddina la taqbalina. Madinatu jaddina la taqbalina." Oh, Medina of our grandfather, Medina of Rasulullah, don't accept us. Why? Because when we left you, we had Qasim, we had Ali Akbar, we had Abu Fadl al-Abbas. Today we don't have anyone when we are coming back to you. Ajrukum ala Allah, ajrukum ala Allah. Sayyida Zainab, she went to the grave of Rasulullah. She said, "Ya Rasulullah, they killed your Hussein. They killed my brother Hussein." She didn't cry for Aun and Muhammad. She went to the grave of Fatima al-Zahra. She took the shirt of Sayyid al-Shuhada. He said, "My mother Fatima al-Zahra, this is the shirt of Hussein." She didn't cry for Aun and Muhammad. Ajrukum ala Allah. They say Sayyida Zainab, she didn't go home for a long time. She went to the house of Sayyid al-Sajjad, Imam Zainul Abidin. And when she got to the house of Imam Zainul Abidin, she stayed there. Abdullah ibn Ja'far al-Tayyar, the husband of Sayyida Zainab, said to Imam Sajjad, "Sayyid al-Sajjad, tell your aunt Zainab to come home." Ajrukum ala Allah. Imam Sajjad went. He said something. Sayyid Sajjad ne kaha, "Phuphi amma ghar chaliye." Bibi Zainab ka dil bhadaya. Bibi Zainab ne kaha, "Beta tum imam waqt ho, main hukum baja la rahi hu." Bibi Zainab buland hui. Muhalla Bani Hashim nazar aaya. Dara diwar nazar aaye. बीबी ज़ैनब ने दरवाजा खोला, दो मुसल्ले नजर आए। ज़ैनब लिपट गई, एक जुमला कहा, "ऑन मोहम्मद।" Sallallahu alayka ya Rasulullah. Sallallahu alayka ya
अलैका या हसनल मुज्तबा अस्सलामु अलल हुसैन व अला अली इब्न अल हुसैन व अला औलादिल हुसैन व अला अस्हाबिल हुसैन मातम हुसैन या हुसैन या हुसैन या हुसैन
शम्मा से शम्मा जले सिलसिला जारी रहे हम रहे ये आज़ादारी रहे शम्मा से शम्मा जले सिलसिला जारी रहे हम रहे या ना रहे ये आज़ादारी रहे शम्मा से शम्मा जले अपनी नस्लों को सिखाते रहो मातम का हुनर सीना दर सीना करे ये बस ये आज़ादारी सफर जैसे हालात भी हो रस्म ये जारी रहे हम रहे या ना रहे ये आज़ादारी रहे शम्मा से शम्मा जले सिलसिला जारी रहे हम रहे या ना रहे ये आज़ादारी रहे शम्मा से शम्मा जले लाख बदले ये ज़माने की रविश और मौसम एक पल भी ना रुके फर्शे अज़ा पर मातम मातम शहर का जुनून जहन पर तारी रहे हम रहे या ना रहे ये आज़ादारी रहे शम्मा से शम्मा जले सिलसिला जारी रहे हम रहे या ना रहे ये आज़ादारी रहे शम्मा से शम्मा जले तुम अगर ज़ाकिर शब्बीर हो ये याद रहे चाहे इस गम के लिए सर भी कटे घर भी जले हुर्मते फर्शे अज़ा जान से प्यारी रहे हम रहे या ना रहे ये आज़ादारी रहे शम्मा से शम्मा जले सिलसिला जारी रहे हम रहे या ना रहे ये आज़ादारी रहे शम्मा से शम्मा जले ये सबीले यूं ही आबाद रहे अहले अज़ा और घर घर में नजर आए अलम गाजी का ये अलम ऊंचा रहे ये अलमदारी रहे हम रहे या ना रहे ये आज़ादारी रहे शम्मा से शम्मा जले सिलसिला जारी रहे, हम रहे या ना रहे ये आज़ादारी रहे। या हुसैन या हुसैन या हुसैन या हुसैन या हुसैन।
मख्तल की फ़ज़ाओं में ये ज़ैनब का था नौहा, घर लुट गया अम्मा।
मख्तल की फ़ज़ाओं में ये ज़ैनब का था नौहा, घर लुट गया अम्मा।
बाकी न रहा मेरे लिए कोई सहारा, घर लुट गया अम्मा।
मख्तल की फ़ज़ाओं में ये ज़ैनब का था नौहा, घर लुट गया अम्मा।
अब्बास के लाशे से हुसैन आए जो उठ कर, दर्द का मंज़र। अब्बास के लाशे से हुसैन आए जो उठ कर, दर्द का मंज़र। हाथों से कमर थाम के रोने लगे भैया, घर लुट गया अम्मा। मख्तल की फ़ज़ाओं में ये ज़ैनब का था नौहा,
घर लुट गया अम्मा।
वो असर का हंगाम क़यामत का समा था, दिल डूब रहा था। वो असर का हंगाम क़यामत का समा था, दिल डूब रहा था। जब तेर के नीचे मेरे भाई का गला था, घर लुट गया अम्मा। मख्तल की फ़ज़ाओं में ये ज़ैनब का था नौहा,
घर लुट गया अम्मा।
सर तन पर नहीं खून में तर सारा बदन है, ये शाह ज़मन है। सर तन पर नहीं खून में तर सारा बदन है, ये शाह ज़मन है। क्या अपने शबीर को था इसलिए पाला, घर लुट गया अम्मा। मख्तल की फ़ज़ाओं
में ये ज़ैनब का था नौहा, घर लुट गया अम्मा।
था पहले ही भैया का बदन जख्मों से छन्नी, आफत ये नहीं थी। था पहले ही भैया का बदन जख्मों से छन्नी, आफत ये नहीं थी। रौंदा गया फिर घोड़ों की टांगों से वो लाशा, घर लुट गया अम्मा।
मख्तल की फ़ज़ाओं में ये ज़ैनब का था नौहा, घर लुट गया अम्मा।
इस काफ़िले हक़ पर मुसीबत हुई पैहम, होता रहा मातम। इस काफ़िले हक़ पर मुसीबत हुई पैहम, होता रहा मातम। अख्तर यही देती रही बस सानिए ज़हरा, घर
गया अम्मा, मक़तल की सजा हो ये ज़ैनब का था नौहा, घर लुट गया अम्मा। या हुसैन या हुसैन, वो आबिद बीमार था, वो आबिद बीमार था, चलने से जो लाचार था, चलने से जो लाचार था। और शाम का बाजार था, और शाम का बाजार था, कोई मुस्तफा की बेटियां, मौला हक इमाम या हसन या हुसैन, मौला हक इमाम या हसन या हुसैन या हुसैन। शब्बीर की वो लाडली, शब्बीर की वो लाडली, सीने पे जो शाके पली, सीने पे जो शाके पली, जिसकी अबारन में जली, जिसकी अबारन में जली, मुंह पर तमाचों के निशान। मौला हक इमाम या हसन या हुसैन, मौला हक इमाम या हसन या हुसैन या हुसैन।
अस्सलामु अलैका या अबा अब्दिल्लाह वअला al-arwah allati hallat bifanaik, alayka minni jami'an salamullah, abadan ma baqitu wa baqa al-layl wan-nahar, wala ja'ala Allahu akhlad minni li zaratikum. Assalamu ala al-Husayn wa ala Ali ibn al-Husayn wa ala أولاد الحسين وعلى أصحاب الحسين والذين بذلوا مهجهم دون الحسين. السلام عليك يا قمر بني هاشم يا أبا الفضل العباس بن أمير المؤمنين. السلام عليكم جميع الشهداء بكربلاء ورحمة الله وبركاته. السلام عليك يا علي بن موسى الرضا راضي بالقدر والقضاء، روحي وجسم لك الفضاء رحمة الله وبركاته. السلام عليك يا مولانا يا صاحب العصر والزمان. السلام عليك يا خليفة الرحمن. السلام عليك إمام وإمام الإنس والجان. السلام عليك يا شريك القرآن. الأمان 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 من فتنة الزمان. هذا أجر الله تعالى فرجك، وسأل الله تعالى مخرجك وظهورك. السلام عليكم جميعا ورحمة الله وبركاته.
يا